Welcome to MarketPlay, the marketing podcast where we get to play games instead of just talk all about this week's marketing and advertising news. I'm your host, Meryl Hathaway, and we're brought to you by Two Trees PPC out of Sacramento, California. Now let's get to quizzing you and our guest on everything industry. Good luck, and welcome to MarketPlay. Okay, here we go. Hello, I'm Meryl Hathaway, and joining me is Mike Wisby, founding partner of Two Trees PPC. We hope you've had a good, healthy week, and if not, we hope you had fun making lots of mistakes, and you're now working on yourself more deeply, because it's really the only choice you have now. So good luck with that. All right, well, let's get started by introducing you to this week's guest. Playing with us today is Patrick Harbison, owner of Patrick Harbison Public Relations, a full-service public relations firm in his hometown of Sacramento, California. With over 15 years of experience, Patrick has accrued many accolades, including 3 Hermes Awards, the 2016 Influencer of the Year by the Public Relations Society of America Award, as well as the inaugural Agency of the Year Award in 2018. He has run the gamut as a publicist, media consultant, publicity professional, and media booker with a widely diverse client base, and is a career-long advocate for nonprofits, including working with Weave, the Make-A-Wish Foundation, the Sacramento Theater Company, and the Sacramento LGBTQ Community Center. Welcome, Patrick.
Woo! Hi. That was really
That's
sweet.
a lot of stuff.
Thank you. I need to just play that every time I enter a room. That was fabulous.
Right? I promise I'll get you the sound bite.
Thank you.
We are so happy to have you. Thank you for being here. And to get us started, let's first play Getting to Know You.
Yes.
So, to play, I will ask a series of this or that questions, and you just answer them with your first instinct response, okay?
Gotcha.
All right, let's play. Number 1, laptop or tablet?
Laptop.
Google or Yahoo?
Google, come on.
Netflix or YouTube?
Okay, I do so many drunk deep dives on YouTube. I go down like wormholes of 80s pop divas, best live performances. YouTube is quintessential in my life. I've got to go YouTube.
Oh my God, you're living your best life, and I'm loving it.
I am.
iPhone or Android?
iPhone.
The Office or Silicon Valley?
Ooh, Silicon Valley.
Oh.
Yeah, gotta do it.
9 to 5 or 10 to 6?
Can we do like 5 a.m. to noon? By nature of working in media, I've got to be up so early. I'm an early bird, so I'll take the early option.
Okay.
8 to
and
4?
if you want the 5 a.m.er, by all means take it. I don't know that I'm going to go ahead and be there with you. I'm just not going to do it.
And what even is a work schedule anymore, right? Like time is irrelevant at this point.
Well, that's what they're saying is a big thing going on with people right now. Like, obviously, we're at the phase of all of this insanity that everybody's like, ooh, I'm feeling a little wackadoo. And, like, everybody's, like, taking their temperature in a different way in this crisis where it's like, hey, is my brain on straight? And one of the things they say is that the loss of like the need for a structured schedule, it's actually really important to your mental health to try to keep some kind of schedule. And,
I believe it. It's
right?
certainly been important to my waistline because people are calling it COVID-19. We're like COVID-40. You feel me?
Right.
Because I cannot get into the gym.
Oh my God. Thank God that Pride this year is not going to be out in the heat because I am not ready for it. I'm not ready for it.
Nobody is.
Right? Thank God. All right, 5 out of 5 points. Very well done.
Thank you.
I'm also loving that YouTube can gift us with that much. Like instantly you said 80s pop divas, and I'm like, God, why am I not doing that?
I'm telling you, it's like Whitney Houston, 1982, Live for the Troops. It's one of my go-tos. It's amazing. But you can really, like, I did a deep dive on Britney Spears the other week, and turns out, like, it was never that great, y'all. We have fooled ourselves. But it's perfect for when you're home and you're sort of, there's nothing to watch. You've got a little alcohol buzz going. It's perfect.
Oh my gosh, that sounds amazing. I want to suggest one other thing, one other title that I randomly, and I'm going to admit this, and it's going public, and that's okay with me, that my one trip that I went to Italy a few years ago, it was such a beautiful, incredible experience. And in one of the places I stayed in Tuscany, in the evening, there was literally nothing to do. So once the sun went down, there's only literally so much that I could do and be out with people and all of that. I'm in the middle of nowhere. And the TVs didn't work. So I just had to randomly deep dive on YouTube. And I went and I found Newlyweds with Nick Lachey and Jessica Simpson.
Yes.
And I rewatched, because I had watched some of it.
Wow.
I watched the entire thing over like
Yes.
3 nights. And you guys, that was never a good sitch.
Nope.
Oh my God.
Sure wasn't. But your situation was amazing. I mean,
Couldn't have been more
rewatching that in
beautiful.
Italy, that's goals.
It could not have been more beautiful. Really. I mean, I don't regret anything. Okay.
I mean, Chicken of the Sea, who can forget it?
Okay, now let's move on to our next game, which we simply call Humble Beginnings.
Ooh.
So we're going to talk to our guest, Patrick, about his first job ever. So Patrick, what is your humble beginning?
So I don't know if a lot of listeners will remember this, but pre-internet, you used to be able to dial 411 information on your phone, and you'd be connected to an operator who would provide you with the phone number of a business. So you'd say, like, you'd call 411 and it would say, city and listing, please. And you'd say, oh, Sacramento, I need the number for Century Movie Theater. And then the 411 information operator would connect you to the movie theater and you get the movie times. I did that job in high school at 17 years old. And so we would sit in essentially this phone bank for hours, and calls would just trickle in with, people wanting to be connected to a phone number, because it was sort of more convenient than the phone book and actually having to look a number up, but it was pre the internet, so we didn't have the luxury of Google or where we could just web search for it.
Wow. So
point.
you were the guy. So what was your main resource to give them the information so quickly? Like,
There
you
was
just
a
had
database.
Just a
like,
giant paper database?
it was all on a computer. It was like,
Oh.
oh my gosh, like the original IBM. With like, it was massive and heavy, and the screen was like a weird foggy black color. It was crazy.
With
But
the green type. The
totally,
neon green type.
that like blinking cursor mark that just haunts you. That was it. And so it was owned by AT&T, and we served all of Northern California and Nevada AT&T customers.
Wow. Did you ever get anybody that you knew who called in?
A couple times I did. And I would actually hate that, because they had these weird metrics that you had to adhere to called DCPs, duration of call period. And if you were able to successfully connect your caller to their number under 30 seconds, you could bonus up. But if you got somebody you knew, they would want to chat. They'd be like, Steve, you're messing me up, man. Let me live.
That's such a good one. I love that that
love
was your
that.
first job. Oh my
So
God.
crazy. And I feel so old talking about it, right? Because what is information?
I know. It just so much technology has happened since then. It's so amazing to even think about that. So speaking of which, so how did you end up migrating into your current role within the world of PR?
Well, so in college, I was a communications major, and I had minored in journalism. And my thought at the time, as a closeted gay man, was that I was going to go be the next Anderson Cooper and uncover truths and, fight injustices around the world and look fabulous while doing it. And after I graduated, I got a job right out of the gate at News and Review, which I loved. It taught me a lot, sort of about print industry, and really helped with my my writing skills and sort of hone that. But unfortunately, at that time, sort of the writing was on the wall about print media and kind of where it was heading, both digitally and then also with the internet, having a huge impact on print media. I could tell that, okay, maybe this isn't going to be for me long term. And so I ended up taking a job at the California Medical Association in their communications department.
Oh,
And they
wow.
essentially, they lobby on behalf of California physicians. So it was a different perspective on comms, right? Because it was now all political. And it was about Assembly bill and Senate bills and Medi-Cal reimbursement rates and, sort of at the time, big political hot button issues statewide. And so that was also a good learning experience. And then I just kind of kicked around the association world for about a decade, working, again, at different associations and bigger marketing firms, PR firms in the private sector. And then about 6 years ago, just bit the bullet and said, you know what, let's do it. Let's start my own firm. And then here we are with PHPR.
I love it. That's amazing.
That's a great story.
What's one of your, favorite things about what you get to do now? Like, what about your job do you really enjoy?
Well, for someone like me who has a bit of ADD, every day is different, which I really love.
Yeah.
And we were talking earlier about sort of the workplace environment. My workplace is typically wherever the client needs me to be. So if it's at a television station or if it's on site at an event location, wherever that may be, no day is the same. So some days we can be storytelling a restaurant or a nonprofit or a politician, but it just keeps it really lively and entertaining. And that is certainly probably the thing I love the most about it, but also the fact that at this point we can work with clients that we're passionate about, which is a true privilege and one we don't take for granted. But that has been really good for my mental health, because sometimes PR can be sort of sleazy. And if you don't love kind of the client or the issue or the cause that you're publicizing, it can be really, it can create a conflict. So where we are now with PHPR, it's nice to not have to worry about that.
I feel that so much because that's exactly the same with us. We set up the marketing agency in the same way, just sort of bit the bullet, did it. And it's such a privilege to work with clients that you actually really can get behind and love, and you treat them as family, and you feel like they're family. And it's just really good. It's like, It's so nice to have that. And we're very, very lucky to do that. So feel you, man.
Oh, love it.
Indeed. That's amazing. I'm really proud of you and happy for you that you've gotten to this point. So
thank you.
Wonderful. All right. So 2 more points because why not? So you're at a total of 7 and you're killing it right now.
We are cruising to double digits, y'all.
Cruising together. All right. On to our next game that we like to call Branded. In this game, I'm going to give you 3 quotes from branding news stories this week, and you're going to guess who I'm speaking as and what I'm talking about.
Oh, wow.
Okay, here we go. Now, and obviously, some of these, it'll be easier to pick out like just the brand or what they're referring to, so we'll specify when it comes to that with each question.
Okay.
All right, each one is worth 1 point. First quote. Quote, now is the time when home unites us all. It's an opportunity for us to help these amazing American Idol contestants transform their home stages into something extra special for the finale. What brand is this exec speaking on behalf of?
Okay, I love American Idol. I watched this season. I appreciated that it was truncated because they had to do it from home. I'm going to guess Coca-Cola?
Final answer?
Final answer.
Okay, incorrect. The answer is actually Lowe's.
Oh, my gosh.
I thought this was really interesting. So the story goes, so Lowe's provided over 500 pieces of donated materials to the remaining American Idol contestants singing at home for the finale episode. Marissa Thalberg, the new exec VP and chief brand and marketing officer at Lowe's, spoke of the smart move they made to provide the final singing contestants with the donated products that allowed them to build their own stages for recording the performances. As part of the episode, they showed off how they designed their DIY projects to fit their style, including donated patio furniture, gardening supplies, and lighting, with the help of Lowe's trend and style expert, Caroline Harmon, who was featured on their social channels. I'm sure that there was a bit of under their breath singing while they were having to literally build their own sets and do their own hair and makeup. Like, I didn't sign up for this.
Right. A moment like this.
Yeah. What happened to me feeling that special?
Exactly.
But I thought that was so cool and really smart. What a smart move for Lowe's to jump in and be like, hey, you know what we should really do? And then I also thought about, what if any of these finale contestants were living in like a studio apartment, and then all of a sudden they just get a bunch of building material and they're like, go nuts with your gardening. And they're like, I don't have a garden yet. That's what I'm trying to win this show for. Okay,
Well, I can just tell you as a viewer, it looked really, really great. And to your point,
Yeah.
each contestant did have a different living space, and they all kind of had a vibe that you could tell was curated to the contestant, right? And their personalities. So it really worked. Looked great.
I love it. It was so smart. Okay, so our second quote. Quote, we know it's not like getting a $3 million check, but it's enough to make an impact in a way that's timely and feels meaningful. We can't do photo shoots now with social distancing, so we were looking for a fun way to drive home the message that when we stay in, everyone wins. What brand is being referred to?
$3 million check. Enough to get by. When we stay in, everyone wins. Oh my goodness.
It's a tough one, I'm not going to lie.
I don't know why, but I'm leaning towards like a food delivery app. Something like a DoorDash, maybe? Ugh, final answer.
Okay. Incorrect. That's okay. The answer is Lucky Brand, the jeans brand.
Wow.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So Lucky Brand had to close all of its stores in March, like, any other retailer. But the company is using marketing funds that were initially earmarked for photo shoots to run a game developed by Preacher, which is Lucky's Austin, Texas-based ad agency. It issues daily humorous challenges on their Instagram account using these richly illustrated playing cards, which are very pretty, with each day's winner getting a $250 Lucky Brand gift card for themselves, another $250 gift card for an essential worker of their choice, and a $500 donation to their favorite charity. And then 25 runners-up each day will win a pair of jeans daily as well. The denim brand has prided itself on a sense of humor and now wants to uplift and inspire its customers. And here's the kicker, is that coming up, they're doing a whole campaign based around the fact that no one can fit into their jeans right now, which I think is absolutely hilarious.
So
That's so
accurate.
funny.
I know. Oh my gosh. The level of, I see denim and I want to run. So I think whatever they're going to do is probably very, very beneficial to them.
Very cool for Lucky.
Yeah.
I never would have guessed that. That's awesome.
Really smart. And I checked out some of these playing cards on their Instagram account and they're really funny. So everyone should go check that out. It's a really great idea.
Yes.
All right. And the third quote. Quote, this year when many LGBTQ plus people will be unable to gather at large Pride events, it's so important that brands, notables, and other allies find authentic and creative ways to show that they stand with our community. Which mainstream candy company has once again announced its intention to remove its colorful design from packaging to recognize LGBTQ Pride Month in June?
Okay, this one I know. It's Skittles.
Yay!
Yes.
That is correct. So part of a Give the Rainbow campaign, the revamped Pride Packs from Mars Candy brand Skittles come in gray and white with labeling that reads, quote, only one rainbow matters during Pride, end quote. Skittles has partnered with GLAAD to donate a $1 per pack sold to the LGBTQ media advocacy group for up to $100,000. Though the all-white bag change was controversial previously, with people saying that it could have represented whitewashing from the alt-right white neo-Nazi movement, we're hoping that this time goes over a little bit better.
Right.
Also, have to note that during Pride Month, everyone has to go check out the show We're Here on HBO because it's everything and it's perfect for Pride Month if you haven't seen it already.
So good.
Oh my God.
I am such a fan of this Skittles campaign. I love it. I know it got some backlash in previous incarnations. The only, sort of valid point I could give to any kind of backlash is how will I know what flavor Skittle I am getting? Because if I want a green and I get a yellow, I'm going to be hot lava. I'm going to be hot lava.
Yeah, I think it's an awesome idea. I love that they're using, their traditional branding for such a good, purpose.
Totally.
And to donate $1 per bag, that's a lot. So the fact that they're going to let it go up to $100,000, I think it's amazing. I think it's smart marketing, and I just I hope that people don't find ways to make it somehow negative because it's
Totally
just not,
agree.
you know?
Totally agree.
It's not. All right, you got 1 out of 3 points. Very well done. We're looking at 8 total right now, and
8 is great.
8 is great. That's what I was going to say.
Yes.
All right, Patrick, let's move on to our next game that we like to call Say What?
Ooh.
Okay, So, for this game, I will tell you 3 random stories within a theme from this week's news. 1 is true, and 2 of them are false. You have to identify the only accurate story in the bunch.
Okay.
So, this week's stories all relate to the theme of sneakiness. All right, Patrick, let's play.
Okay.
Story number 1. Open since 1977, Chuck E. Cheese's was the place for birthday parties for anyone on the spectrum of cool in the 80s and 90s especially. Not just any pizza place, it involved a live show that was both entertaining and also a learning experience in which performers in animal costumes sing and dance while customers ate pizza and played games. They're in the news this week alongside a few other chains after getting caught in what people are calling an unbranding scheme. It seems that the restaurant chain is suddenly calling themselves Pascali's Pizza and Wings in local markets, tricking people ordering delivery wings and pizza to think that they're getting food from a new spot in the neighborhood. Named after the beloved Italian chef that took Chuck E., the main mouse, under his wing and then became the drummer in the mouse's band, speculation started when dozens of Grubhub listings for Pascali's on third-party delivery apps popped up in the Midwest, the South, and even in California since April, finally prompting the company to officially respond. Quote, CEC Entertainment, Inc. recently launched Pascali's Pizza and Wings nationwide. Named after another favorite member of Munch's make-believe band, shares the kitchen space with Chuck E. Cheese restaurants, ensuring high-quality, fresh ingredients. Sure, because that's what we think of when we think of Chuck E. Cheese. Fresh and high quality. Not dirty carpets, creepy giant puppets, and hordes of screaming kids trying to win tickets. Sneaky, CEC Entertainment. All right, that's story number 1. Story number 2. It's been said that absence makes the heart grow fonder, and in hoping that is true, the WeWork offices across the country are really hoping you miss them while working from your kitchen counter or spare closet. With a campaign some are calling We Wishy Washy, the WeWork social media team has been posting photos and videos claiming to be real-life footage of meetings and fun real-life happenings from better times that we'll get back to soon from their offices. But it turns out that none of what they're posting actually ever occurred. A video has gone viral of Jenny's birthday lunch out of Kansas City, showing folks from a slew of offices in the same WeWork facility all happily migrating into Jenny's jewelry design office, sharing snacks and singing her happy birthday. Only it went public this week that Jenny is an actor in Chicago who posted photos on Instagram from the commercial shoot with WeWork back in the fall of 2018. The Twitter feed reads almost like a desperate guy hoping a girl calls him back with tweets like, loneliness happens in isolation at any time. Don't forget about us. We're still here and we still love you and your business. Please come back soon. Which sounds kind of nice, but it reads a bit heavy and dark. Considering how all these things are shaking out, we wonder if WeWork will still withstand the pandemic at all, though we're kind of a lot more concerned that real-life Jenny is doing okay without her acting gigs in Chicago. That's story number 2. Story number 3. Well, we all know that pants are a fairly unnecessary accessory at this stage of life for most, aside from grocery visits and dog walks, but so too are shoes, and companies are feeling it. A small shoe shop, Cozy Toes in Madison, Wisconsin, has been doing its best to stay afloat with new advertising and the creation of an online store promising same-day deliveries. But it seems that wasn't working well enough, and things have gotten desperate. The shop was in a hot seat this week after getting called out on the neighbor app next door after a ring cam video was posted by local Cheryl King. The video shows the owner of the shop rushing up to her doorstep with what looks like, or turns out, is dog poo and stuffs the poo into several pairs of shoes left out on her doorstep. Cheryl posted about the act only to be followed by 6 other neighbors in her area who all woke up to poo shoes and questioned who in their right mind would be doing this to locals. An otherwise small, kind community, Cheryl says, I just can't fathom who would want to do this or why. When a responding neighbor sounded off and posted their own surveillance video, they all began putting this man's silhouette together with their own detective work. After calling police about the shop owner, the neighbors say that they'll never shop at Cozy Toes again, despite the fact that it has the cutest name in the history of shoe stores. And that is story number 3. So, Is it story number
Ooh.
1 that's accurate about Chuck E. Cheese becoming Pascali's? Is it number 2 about Jenny's party in Kansas City and WeWork really trying to prove that they're awesome and you should come back? Or is it story number 3 about the desperate Cozy Toes owner from Madison, Wisconsin?
Okay, this is hard. This is really hard because they all have some believable factors, right? I mean, the Nextdoor app is notorious. I feel for Jenny, and I know that oftentimes people will, certainly in my industry, hire actors to appear, right, as normal, everyday employees.
Yep.
But I remember being shocked when I found out that my favorite college bookstore was actually owned by Barnes & Noble, and did a deep dive into how unbranding is the new branding. So my gut is leaning me towards Chuck E. Cheese.
You are correct.
Oh, yes!
I'm
Yes!
excited for you because it is true that there are a bunch of other companies that are doing this now where they realize that the stigma of their bigger company name or how people perceive them previously is hindering sales in some way. And Barnes & Noble is one of the other ones. The other one, along with Chuck E. Cheese that was in the news this week, was Applebee's doing the same thing.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, and they're calling it like Neighborhoods Wings or something like that.
Wow.
Yeah, and then people are getting them and going online, and it's hilarious. If you even look just for tweets about this, it is so funny the amount of people that are tweeting out, this pizza's a lot like Chuck E. Cheese. Anyone understand why? And it's like this back and forth where finally the companies had to come out and be like, okay, so it is us.
It's me.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Oopsie doopsies. All right, Patrick, awesome job.
Oh, we feel good about that.
3 out of 3 points. At this point, we are playing with 11 points total.
Yes.
Doing
Double
great.
digits.
Very well done.
I feel really good about that.
All right, on to our next game that I like to call Not My Thing.
Ooh, not my thing.
All right, in this game, I'll ask you multiple choice questions pertaining to anything but marketing, advertising, or PR because it's fun to see how much you know when it's not your thing.
Okay.
All right, Patrick, let's play. Number 1. This week in dating news, Airbnb decided to pair with which dating app to provide virtual first dates to people stuck at home during the pandemic? Is it A, Tinder, B, Hinge, or C, Bumble?
Oh, wow. So I've been out of the dating app scene for a hot minute.
Good for you.
I feel like Tinder is a little too, how should I say it? Like grimy?
Yep.
In terms of like, it's basically a hookup app, so I don't feel like Airbnb would sanction that. What were the other two, Hinge or?
B, Hinge, or C, Bumble?
I feel like, I wish I had the 50-50 on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. I'm gonna go with Bumble, final answer.
You are correct. The answer is
yes!
Bumble.
Yes!
The Women First dating app joins Airbnb in introducing a series of online experiences that couples can share in quarantine, including wine tastings, cooking lessons, virtual tours, escape rooms, and music appreciation classes. Couples can book private sessions or join in group settings. Is this something you guys would consider doing? Like, is there a point if you can't make out and smell each other at the end of the night? I mean, I don't know.
I mean, it's a no for me. I don't know how you feel.
Work? Like, how would the escape room work even? Like,
I know.
I don't get that.
I don't understand the escape room.
I know
at
the way
all.
out of my house.
But you know what I would watch? I would watch a streaming video of watching people try to attempt to have these virtual first dates.
Yes.
Yes.
I mean, someone record this and put it up somewhere because that would be delightful.
Can I tell you that I've only done an escape room with then colleagues. It was like a sort of work retreat. It was supposed to be about team bonding. And the only thing I wanted to escape afterwards was that job because you learn a lot about people in an escape room. And it was not great. Let me tell you that.
Just keep picking up the same thing going, ugh,
Right.
it's not here. I don't think they left it in here. There's no puzzle piece.
It's so bad. Trying to break the same lock. It's like now you're just damaging property.
Yeah, you're like, Kenny, lay off. It's not working. Move on.
It's always Kenny with too much coffee.
Oh, Kenny. All right, number 2. This week in licensing news, which major podcast host scored a reported, get this, $100 million deal with Spotify? Is it A, Brené Brown, B, Ira Glass, or C, Joe Rogan?
It is C, Joe Rogan. I was just reading about that earlier this week.
You
Final answer.
are correct.
How many $1 million was that?
$100 million.
I feel like the Austin Powers Dr. Evil thing coming up when you said that.
$1
$100
million. The comedian's show, The Joe Rogan Experience, will be available for free on the audio streaming platform starting September 1st, while the rest of the library will go back, dating back to 2009, will be available to stream by the end of the year. While Rogan will maintain full creative control over the show that features celebrity and expert interviews on a range of conversation topics. Currently, Rogan's show is the second most popular U.S. podcast on Apple Podcasts, with 8.4 million subscribers watching clips and episodes on his YouTube channel, earning him an estimated $30 million alone from the show last year. While Spotify has 286 million monthly active users to introduce Rogan to, if they don't know him already.
Wow. I struggle with Joe Rogan. I don't know how y'all feel. I, loved him on news radio, understand how impactful he's been for things like UFC, and certainly has helped, I think, bring cannabis into the mainstream. But gosh, I don't know. Some of his stuff is total anti-science. And particularly right now with all the COVID stuff, I've just been having a kind of a visceral reaction to him. I don't know if I'm alone in that, but
I don't think you are. I think I think
agree.
any personality is gonna rub you right in some ways and wrong in the others. But I don't actively go to his podcast. Partly for me, those episodes are so GD long. I mean,
right.
I
3
don't
hours.
understand anyone putting out that long of an episode, but some people, I think, like, flock to it because of that. I think a lot of people love hearing contradictory ideas, and more power to him for building an empire within a show like that. It's pretty incredible one way or another, however you look at it. It's an 11-year long podcast. It's pretty incredible.
That's crazy.
And
That is crazy.
to generate that much income just talking into a mic, I mean, hey, that'd be nice.
That would be great.
Right? Checks on checks.
Yeah, but I agree. I think you got to take him with a grain of salt like anybody else, and I'm never anti-science, so I couldn't agree more on that front with you. All right, last one of Not My Thing. This week, it was announced that people in a variety of regions have been panic buying what due to the difficulty of finding eggs these days? Is it A, applesauce, B, Instacart memberships, or C, backyard chickens?
Oh, wow. Lack of eggs. I wouldn't assume it would be applesauce.
Which is an egg substitute, by the way.
Is it really?
Yes, it is.
I didn't know that. It's the farm to fork culture is really prevalent. I'm gonna guess C, chickens.
Go with your gut. You were right, Patrick. The answer is backyard chickens.
Yes.
So as Megan Howard, webmaster at Meyer Hatchery in Polk, Ohio said, anytime there is a crisis, chick sales go up. The trend is in part fueled by interest in environment sustainability, but also the anxiety over access to eggs and for people yearning to love and nurture animals, especially those who can also produce a great poached breakfast.
Ah, yes.
Would you guys ever consider having your own chicken coop, considering it's becoming more mainstream?
I don't know. It's a lot of upkeep, right?
Mike is like,
Not feeling it. Mike is not. I feel like I would have to start like some bougie Instagram feed where it's like, my rustic life. I think I would. I actually think I would. I think it would spur like an entire lifestyle change. Like through the chicken coop, I would become like a woodworker and only wear flannel in
my
like the
God.
best way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
What I was going to say was, where does it stop? Like you get chickens, and then now I have to.
You're the guy with chickens. That means a lot of different things.
It's a commitment, right? That's the thing. You have to fully commit to that. And I I probably would change my outfits to match that. So,
Right?
I would end up wearing a farmer's hat or something.
I'm picturing you looking like a farmer, just being like, what do I have to do?
Googling everything, trying to find YouTube videos on.
Yeah. And then
There you go. YouTube again.
YouTube comes back.
I'm telling you, it really does come in handy. All right, Patrick, you got 3 out of 3 points.
Yes.
Very well done. You're at 14 total. All right, we're going into our last round, our last game of the show today that we like to call Bing Bang Boom.
Ooh.
All right, I'm going to ask you 10 fill-in-the-blank questions, all pertaining to this week's most notable marketing news, and we'll see how well you've been paying attention. Okay?
Okay.
All right, on your mark, get set, go. MarketPlay. Number 1, which major magazine shot their June cover via Zoom this year?
Oh gosh, was it with Moira Rose from Schitt's Creek? Was it?
Oh God, I wish. I'll give you the hint of who was on the cover. It was singer-songwriter and actress Janelle Monáe.
Oh, okay. Was it Essence?
No, I'll give you one more guess.
Okay, was it with a drone?
I'll give you one more hint. They always do spreads on the best actresses and actors on their covers.
Ooh, okay. Entertainment Weekly?
No. The correct answer is Vanity Fair.
Oh, wow. Yep, that's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah. So shot by photographer Collier Shore from a distance. The benefit in this situation, they say, is that the subject actually has a lot more control and more artistic license than usual because they're the ones adjusting the camera and making the decisions while being still directed by the photographer via Zoom. Interesting.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's really
And if
interesting.
you look up the picture, it's a beautiful photo of her who, I mean, she can't take a bad picture, but
right.
still.
She's stunning.
All right, number 2, which image sharing platform was acquired by Facebook this week?
Image sharing platform.
They're my favorite things to put in a text message, I'll say that.
Oh, yes. Giphy. GIF.
Ah, correct.
Yeah, or do you say Jiffy? I don't know.
Although it's part of it's part of the answer. Jiffy acquired for $400 million.
Wow.
It's true, yes. Although for that amount, I think that we should also all definitely have a better sense of how to pronounce Jiffy.
Exactly.
It's how many years, guys, and none of us really 100% feel confident about that. I love those things, and I think it's the best thing to happen to texting personally. I just think, what else can Facebook own? Because it's a lot of companies now, no?
Totally a lot of companies,
yeah.
and I completely agree with you. It's the best part about texting.
Oh, my God.
For sure.
The best. Okay, number 3, which shaving brand launched a mobile game with Twitch streaming this week to raise money for cancer research? Which shaving brand?
Gillette?
Incorrect. The answer is Chic Extreme.
Oh, extreme.
Extreme, yeah.
Extreme.
We shave harder.
Yes.
The brand of razors marketed by Edgewell Personal Care created Shave the Day, in which gamers are challenged to guide a bald superhero named Extreme Man through an obstacle course while shaving heads and collecting digital coins. Those coins, or bald bucks as they're called, are then turned into real-life donations to the St. Baldrick's Foundation for Childhood Cancer Research.
Oh, I love that.
Famous Twitch streamers have committed to shaving their heads fully once personal donation goals are achieved in a live stream, which I mean, how much fun is that going to be to watch?
That is going to be so fun to watch. And I love the notion of a bald superhero, I think is... So, how has that not already happened?
Right?
I love it.
Oh my God, bring it. I'm so excited about it.
Bring it.
So smart. All right, number 4. This one is a probably an easier one. I'm going to just put it out there. Name one of the large companies who did the right thing and returned their Paycheck Protection Program money. I'll take one of 3 major brands that I know of.
Okay. Oh my gosh. I know this too. And why am I blanking? I want to say it was... wasn't Ruth's Chris Steakhouse one of them?
Correct.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I would have also accepted Shake Shack or Potbelly.
I don't know Potbelly.
What's Potbelly?
Potbelly does sandwiches.
Okay.
They're a big sandwich chain. They do, like Potbelly, like bigger sandwiches, meats and stuff like that, deli meat and stuff. And then obviously we know that Shake Shack was, I think, the first major chain that everybody was like, I'm sorry, you got what? And they were like,
Right.
oops, never mind, don't need it, thanks.
Bye.
Bye. Chris Steakhouse. I mean, how they would have needed a small business loan. I can't.
Yeah.
So it's that weird situation, right, where you're so angry at, particularly for me, a lot of my clients are locally owned mom and pop restaurants, and so when you hear about a big chain like that gets all this money, you're mad. But then when they give it back, you're sort of like, I love Ruth's Chris.
Yeah.
So it's this weird,
So they get the benefit no matter what.
right?
They
It's like
always
this
win.
weird abusive relationship with Ruth's Chris.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
I love you. I hate you.
I love you. I hate you. Feed me.
Exactly.
All right, number 5. A professional soccer team in South Korea has received a record fine after using what to fill stadium seats to make it look like there's an audience. A professional soccer team in South Korea. They used what to fill the stadium seats?
Like dummies, mannequins.
Go one step further into what you would see more of at maybe a Pride festival.
Oh.
So dummies, but what kind of dummies?
So large handles of Tito's vodka.
A little more X-rated.
A little more. Oh my gosh, sex dolls.
You are correct.
Wow, good for them.
Earlier this month, the K-League resumed games in empty stadiums, which led to teams wanting to recreate the atmosphere of fans in attendance. Most teams started using crowd noises and cardboard cutouts of people for effect, but not FC Seoul. They instead used 20 full-size sex dolls to put really cute butts in seats. Though the team says that they didn't intentionally order them and used them anyway. After paying their $81,000 fine, the team says that they simply intended to do something lighthearted in these difficult times, humbly accepting the decision that deeply, apparently, humiliated and hurt their female fans. Yeesh.
Wow.
Yeah, the pictures are pretty hilarious.
I have got to Google that. In fact, I'll YouTube that.
YouTube
Yeah.
it.
I'll YouTube it.
There's got to be some right there. I mean, really, that made me laugh out loud.
Totally. That's hilarious.
All right, number 6. What new feature did Facebook add this week to help small businesses?
Oh, that's their storefront, right?
Yep. Do you know what it's called?
Yes, it's so generic. I think it's
Yes.
shops.
Yep. Exactly. Correct,
Yes.
Patrick. It's called Facebook Shops. It helps the small businesses in the U.S. turn their social media profiles into digital storefronts, pushing for mobile commerce, and setting up a single online store for customers to access on Facebook and Instagram. The shops will let businesses have conversations with customers online via Messenger, Instagram Direct, and WhatsApp platforms, also letting businesses tag products shown in Facebook and Instagram live streams, and then add them to a product order page for customers to reference.
Wow. Yeah, I think it's a natural sort of next step for Facebook. I mean, we're doing so much advertising and promotion on Facebook already. And I think, especially for businesses right now that have been disproportionately affected that don't have a brick and mortar, this could be a win for them, hopefully.
Yeah, I think it could definitely help people out, right, Mike?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, this is definitely the next step for them, and that keeps their, their hand in to the small business community. And,
Where there's a will, there's a way.
And what are small businesses going to do? They're going to give back to Facebook by paying for advertising. So it's win-win for everyone. Well, on that side. Hopefully the consumer wins too, because they're getting access to the products too. But let's just hope it all stays win-win.
Yes, exactly. All right, number 7. What feature for iPhones was updated this week to my personal delight to make the pandemic just slightly less irritating?
Oh, my gosh.
This
What
one I
feature?
actively was hoping they were going to do something about.
I truly have no idea.
Okay. Mike,
don't
do you
know.
know?
No, I'm racking my brain right now thinking, no, I don't know.
Okay, so the feature that was updated this week with their new update is the unlocking because of face masks.
Oh, brilliant.
So, because the Face ID won't work with a mask on,
Totally.
Apple's iOS 13.5 update has cut down the time it takes for an iPhone to give you the passcode option to unlock your phone. So instead of the few seconds it took previously to offer the passcode option, because none of us have that kind of patience right now,
Right.
when Face ID wasn't being recognized, Apple instituted an automatic prompt when a mask wearer swipes up from the bottom of the screen. And no, you're not the only one who's deeply missing the Touch ID fingerprint option of your. Oh, those were the days and we didn't even know it.
We didn't even know it.
No idea how much that was going to be beneficial down the line.
It's amazing how much like the phone says. Are you sure? You don't look like yourself, right?
Yeah.
It's
Right.
kind of weird.
Yeah, it's real creepy and at the same time kind of awesome, because I also, in researching that question, found that there's a lady selling face masks that mimic the bottom of a face
No.
to try to trick the Face ID.
I am weak. I mean, that is true ingenuity on that woman's part.
Give it up.
But also, I am extremely creeped out by it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
There's no way that you get any one person's features right. So it's just someone with like a half face that works and a half face that doesn't, like a face transplant situation or something.
Right?
They're so weird. You Google that too. Just YouTube it
Wow.
all. YouTube it all. All right, number 8. For the first time in history, this will be allowed for a strict 45-day period, according to this week by the House of U.S. Representatives. So the House of Representatives announced this week that for the first time in history, this will be allowed for a strict 45-day period. What is that thing?
This will be allowed for 45 days. Okay, would it be? Oh, I'm racking my brain. It could be like some sort of debt or bill forgiveness. It could be
That would
like
be
a
great.
product, right? It could be like a product, something that was previously illegal, that will help us get through.
And it's for 45 days only.
45 days.
Never
That's
been
like,
done in history before.
That's like more than a month.
Yep. Final answer?
Oh, Mike, what do you think? Help me out on this one. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm. Oh wow, I don't know. Is it something to do with not paying? You don't have to pay something like a tax, or some tax is being abolished. But 45 days.
That would be lovely, but it's not correct.
No.
I'm going to give you guys the answer. You ready?
Okay.
Yeah.
Remote voting. House
Oh,
House
of
Congress
course.
voting remotely. So Speaker Nancy Pelosi announced on Wednesday that for the first time in U.S. history, congressional members will be able to vote remotely and attend committee meetings virtually during the pandemic, coming after the virtual vote last week of 217 to 189 that temporarily allows for more remote voting since that remote vote.
So it's a lot of voting to vote.
They had
Wow.
to vote remotely to make it allowed for them to vote remotely.
That's so funny.
That's
The
hilarious.
voting issue is, I mean, just from all facets, is really interesting. Obviously, as we're heading into a national election
Yeah.
this year, and how, well, you've seen California's already allowed for everyone to have a vote by mail ballot. So it'll just be interesting to see how everything shakes out.
Yeah, definitely.
yeah.
But this is kind of cool. We'll see what happens.
Very cool. I like it.
Yeah.
They're even working from home, right? It's like, come on.
Exactly. I wonder who's pinning the video of Nancy Pelosi the entire time, or if they're doing what everybody does and bounce around from face to face and try to figure out what's going on in their background.
Right.
All right, number 9. Which tech company CEO announced they will allow for employees to work permanently at home if they so choose, despite the shelter-in-place orders ending in some areas?
Okay, so I saw a tweet about this, and I believe it's Twitter.
Okay, you are correct.
Woo!
So the answer is Jack Dorsey, who's the CEO of both Square and Twitter. Dorsey believes it fosters support for talent not just in their home base of San Francisco, but that it will allow for roles to be filled for talent who have no interest in moving to the Bay Area and feel more comfortable in a smaller home office. Quote, "We want employees to be able to work where they feel most creative and productive. Over the past several weeks, we've learned a lot about what it takes for people to effectively perform roles outside of an office, and we will continue to learn as we go." Interesting. And he was
Very interesting.
originally supposed to be moving to Africa, I think I read.
Oh, wow.
And then he changed that once the pandemic started, but still believes that everyone should be able to be wherever they want to be.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
That's
think
great.
It's long overdue. I think the technology's been there for a very long time, but we've been resisting it. But
Yeah.
hey, everyone can work where they want now. It's
I
great.
think it can be great for some people and not great for others, and being able to choose is a great way of approaching it.
That is true. I know some people are struggling and need the office environment, and that's fine.
Yeah.
And others don't. So choice is great.
I did not realize that Twitter and Square had the same CEO.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a busy guy.
Yeah, that's some Joe Rogan money.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Tell me about it. All right, Patrick, last question of our game. What hashtag is being used by celebrities in an effort to rally support for Asian restaurants right now? They're facing a lot of issues. So what hashtag is being used in an effort to rally support?
Oh my gosh. That is really okay. Let me think about this. Celebrities are using it, obviously, to push back about some ridiculous
Yeah, people are blaming
prejudicial behavior.
Yeah, saying that Chinese restaurants are part of the problem, which makes literally no sense.
Oh, I know this one. Because it's like takeout. It's takeout something.
Yep, you're right.
Am I close?
You're getting-
Takeout hate. Takeout hate. Hashtag takeout hate.
Yes, you are correct.
Woo! Yes.
Way to nail the last question. Yes, that is correct. The answer is hashtag takeout hate. Trying to help save the suffering Asian-owned businesses being affected by xenophobic customers now avoiding their cuisine, celebrities like comedian and one of my favorites, Margaret Cho, and Glee's Harry Shum Jr. are using their social accounts to encourage people to order Chinese language meals, sushi, and the like for takeout. To support the effort, just take a photo of your Asian takeout order and submit them using the hashtag and help support. All right, Patrick, you got
That's fabulous.
6 out of 10.
Ooh,
That
D.
was
That's a D.
amazing. No.
Ah.
So we got 6 out of 10 with a total of 20 out of 26 points. You did
Woo!
really well.
That's
really,
great.
really well.
Yay. Thank you.
Patrick, you won our hearts and a high score.
Likewise. My heart is smiling right now.
Thank you so much for joining us on MarketPlay. We loved having you. And if there's anything that you'd like to plug, any social accounts, if you have any words of wisdom to our audience to share, or just want to let folks know how to find you, please, Patrick, take it away.
Oh, thank you so much. It's been my pleasure to be here and so enjoyed my time. You can find me on Instagram or Twitter at pweekly, PWEEKOY. Locally, a big cause that I'm supportive of here in Sacramento is Family Meal. It's a consortium of 9 restaurants that are cooking and providing thousands of meals daily to senior citizens and kids who have been disproportionately affected by COVID. So if you're in the area and feeling philanthropic, that would be a great one to look up.
Amazing. Oh, that's so wonderful. Thank you so much, Patrick. We loved having you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for listening to MarketPlay this week. I'm your host, Meryl Hathaway. We're brought to you by Two Trees PPC out of Sacramento, California. Always fighting for the small business. If you liked our podcast, don't forget to subscribe, leave us a review, and share it with your colleagues. Have a safe week out there, and we'll see you next time.